So the last movie of the day is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy, directed by James Gunn. I think you guys already know the cast: Vin Diesel, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, uh, Vin Diesel, and Bradley Cooper. So yeah, Rob, you're on, man. Sorry, not Rob, Bugs.
Oh, okay. Um, First off and foremost, this is the most acting I've seen Vin Diesel do in like the last 10 years.
I am Groot.
Wow.
The hate is strong in this.
Just from the get go, bro. Like, boom.
Just the
Grenade
backlash.
launcher.
I've said this before, I said it again. He does the most acting in that one line than the entirety of Fast
I
and
am
Furious
Groot.
after
I
Fast and
am Groot.
Furious
I
3
am Groot.
or
That is
Fast and Furious
wild.
3. No,
Oh my
look at
god.
Fast and Furious 3 and compare it. Groot, I feel things. Dom Toretto, I don't feel nothing, bro. I don't feel shit. Dom Toretto will cry over Letty. I don't feel anything. This nigga says, we are Groot. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
Fair enough.
Bro decided to bring the haterade. Sponsored by Haterade.
Haterade or Factorade? Tell me right now, Vin Diesel has done a decent performance in Fast and Furious, past Fast and Furious 4. Or not even. Let's even go to Fast and Furious 4. That guy's been a robot.
It works for Arnold. It works for Arnold. You can be a
Yeah, but
robot.
Arnold is doing action movies.
Arnold has Terminator. Does Vin Diesel have Terminator? No.
Well,
Uh,
he's got that
that's
blind.
another that weird superhero one. Where isn't he a robot there?
No, he wasn't a robot. He was blind though. What's it called? I actually
No,
really
you
like
think of
it.
Riddick, but there's another one where he resets or something like that.
Oh, he's got
Well,
like
anyway,
9 inside or something.
I'm just saying. But getting back to this film, this is where if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, this might piss you off a little bit because I think what it does is it leans into kind of the goofiest traits of each character. I mean, first off, at least Drax is Drax. If you're a comic book fan, at least Drax is Drax here. I think Batista's Drax here is the best Drax has ever been. Drax
He's
never.
supposed to be stronger than this, though, isn't he? Like
Yeah, I was about to
way
say.
stronger than this.
No. His strength is one thing. I'm just talking about the character. The fact that Drax is a tortured man who lost his family to
Oh,
Thanos.
Uh,
okay.
He
uh,
takes himself seriously
He's
in this
not
one.
bored. Yeah, he takes himself seriously, and also he he's a dude who's constantly in pain, and also it's like he was designed to kill Thanos, so all he can think about is killing Thanos. So now he does a dumb thing in the movie where he summons Thanos' horde to try and fight Thanos one on one. So that was really good. Rocket Raccoon also is fire in here. I think Rocket Raccoon is the most consistent out of the Guardians. We get Gamora. Gamora also is she's okay in this film. All right, she's not like a huge standout personality. I think she's more of a standout later in other films, but there's still solid grounding here. The guy who changes the most from the comic books is surprise, surprise, Star Lord. So he decided to, who?
I was going to mention that.
Peter
I
Quill.
shout out to Jaimon Hansu with his one line. Yo, that's another thing. MCU wasted Jaimon Hansu. Like, he should not have been in this film. Should have hoid him in Black Panther. He should have been on the council or something. Yeah. Anyway. Um. Yeah. The guy who changes the because Star Lord in the comic books he's more of a hardline like eventually he becomes like a more of a hardline military dude. So he does have jokes and he does have one-liners, but he also is like there's times where he has like a Captain America mode where it's like okay, like Captain America fused with Tony Stark a little bit, where he's snarky, but he's like, yeah, we got to get shit done. So
So not
here
the
they just
Han
made him.
Solo. Okay.
No. The Han Solo thing that's a pure MCU.
All right.
Yeah, he's not a Han Solo type in the comic books. Like he is very competent in terms of not that Han Solo isn't incompetent, but like Han Solo, you put him in a fist fight,
Yeah.
you don't know.
He
Whereas,
just
The guy that shoots you. That's what happens in hand. You put
yeah,
a fist fight, he shoots you.
yeah,
who
if he
shot
doesn't
first?
have a gun, he's in trouble. It's
Yeah.
not that's not Star Lord in the comic books.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but anyway, all in all, it's a fun film. The villain is the weakest part of this, which I guess is not a crime, but it is like, yo, if you're a Ronan the Accuser fan, ooh, I feel so bad for you.
What are we doing? We're having a dance battle, baby.
Oh God, yeah,
Poor Lee Pace. Oh, poor Lee Pace.
yeah. But yeah, fun characters, fun vibe. One of the better MCU movies, and strong showing from James Gunn. It's just that if you are looking for comic book accuracy, and yes, I did know the Guardians of the Galaxy before this freaking movie. Don't come at me with that nonsense. Oh, oh,
And
oh,
also, this
you.
is this is where we actually see Josh Brolin's version of Thanos, right?
No, it wasn't Josh. I think Josh is the third recast. It was somebody else, wasn't it?
He's the second.
No, I think it was Josh.
CGI, wasn't it?
Okay, it must be Josh. It must be Josh then. Okay. Yeah, then yeah. Also, yeah, and that they have that weird conversation where Thanos is just like, "Yeah, it's not my time yet to stand up. I have to sit on this chair until Infinity War."
The
But
script says so, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
It's not my time to
I mean, but
Okay, Zooks,
yeah.
it's you, bro.
Anyway,
No, wait, the
oh,
score?
sorry, a rating score.
Oh,
This one will be I'll say 7.8.
Alrighty. Cool.
wait, what stops it from being a solid 8?
I don't know. The villain dog is just he's nothing. Like Ronan the Accuser is one of the biggest, like baddest dudes in space Marvel, and they just made him a guy who pouts and cries and gets beaten by a dance battle. It's kind of like eh. And also the Nova Core. That's another thing. Oh, I hated how they did the Nova
Oh,
Core.
they nerfed
The
they
Nova-
nerfed the core then. Yeah.
No, it's not the Nova Core. Where's the helmets? Where the freaking helmets? Why are we in Star Wars?
Because we want to show you guys the actors that are in this movie. We want the
Oh,
actors to we want to show you guys the actors.
it's like
This is the lone problem.
That's why Thor barely wears a helmet in these movies.
no, Thor. I mean, as much as he should wear the helmet, I don't mind. But the Nova Core, that's where the powers are. Like you guys are useless without these things.
There's a name for this. It's called the Stallone problem, man. Where I don't know if you guys remember the Judge
Yeah,
Dredd movies.
Judge Dredd, yeah, where he took the mask on for like 80% of the movie.
Yep. Meanwhile, another Carl Urban basically killed it with just this bottom half of his face.
That was brilliant.
That was
But Carl Urban can act in his defense.
Yep.
Stallone
Just-
can act when he wants. But anyway,
Just a quick question. Does T'Challa ever really take out, like before the movies? Was he taking out his helmet as the Black Panther?
Ah, good point. That's a good question.
in comic books,
Yeah.
yeah, he does it.
he doesn't take it off as often.
No,
Yeah.
in the comic books he does.
Does he?
Yeah,
Does
he's
he?
in and out of that suit in the comic books. You read a lot of his runs. He's in and out of that suit because
No,
he
no,
doesn't.
no, no. What I mean is he has the suit on, but he doesn't have the visor on.
Oh no, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens.
Before the
Um,
movie. Before
yeah,
the
before
movie.
if you read the third volume of Black Panther comics, he
Okay.
does that a lot, and also in volume 4. Like the thing is, because he's a king, he doesn't have a secret identity. When he's actually undercover, he doesn't do that. But when he's just regular Black Panther NJ, like if he needs to keep it on, he keeps it on. But he does go in and out of the suit.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, it's not
Zook-
Spider. Tell us like, come find me and you'll die.
Okay, Zooks.
T'Challa be like, fuck around and find out.
Fuck around.
Okay, so one of my favorite things in this movie was obviously the music, the soundtrack. It was well picked out. The songs were well picked out. They were well placed and well executed. The movie was fun. What's his name? Waikiki. This is how you do a fun movie without losing the plot. So pay attention. Don't now take all the mushrooms. Leave some for later. Um, yeah, I didn't know any of the characters here, so that also probably lessened my expectations on them.
Mm.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun. It was humorous. The action was dope. Groot and Rocket were my favorite things about the movie, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Had a good time. Loved it. Solid 7.5 movie.
See, when's the last time you said that about Dom Toretto?
Funny. Rob,
Where's he Cat? Cat.
My government name
damn,
Igile.
government names. Vietnam.
No, like no. He's you know what he's doing right now? He's messing with family.
A family of bad acting, but anyway.
Rob, it's you, man.
Alrighty. This is it's kind of a funny situation with this movie actually, because if you actually think about the nuts and bolts, it's actually not that original a film, but the way it's done is fantastic. I really enjoy it. I think what's his face, James Gunn is a fun director. I think he's got a style. I think he's already established his style as a director at this point, and you kind of see it being moving on into the future. And this is a great start with how everything is. Everyone gets kind of painted as their own person. The setup for Star-Lord is genuinely fun. The whole old music thing, I don't know if that's comic accurate, but I genuinely enjoy it, and I think it adds a layer.
It's not. It's an MCU thing.
And I think they even sort of like does this thing where Rhodey is watching like past Star-Lord dancing by himself because he's not listening to the music that Star-Lord is listening to. He's like, this guy? This is your leader? Like, okay.
Yeah, stuff like that is it gave it its own uniqueness, its own heart. I think this is just I think it's a very well done movie. And the other part, but I will say again, I think there's some elements in the writing itself that feel a bit stale and cliche. Like I've seen this before. This is kind of taking long. I wish this wasn't happening in the middle act anyway, in Act 2. But then again, that's every movie. Even Logan kind of has slowness in the second act. That's always bound to happen. Like the prison scenes, I didn't enjoy that much, and the fact and how they get into prison, not the biggest fan. But the actual character dynamics, which I think is Edgar Wright's biggest strength, the actual character interactions is what really pushed the story through and held us all into the end. And
You mean
James Gunn, sorry. And the twist at the ending, the reversal. I mean, I would argue that Doctor Strange kind of did it more uniquely, but I think the reversal here is absolutely unique, fantastic. I'm a big fan. I also have a hot take, and I don't know if you guys know, but Edgar Wright was supposed to have made this movie. And
Wasn't he supposed to have made Ant-Man?
Oh shit, was it Ant-Man?
Yeah, it was Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Shit. Okay, then never mind then. But yeah, I still think he would have done a good job with this, but I think this is a decent movie that was made great by its director. And I think this is the point where Zaslav, is it Zaslav? The committee that was kind of overseeing stuff, I think they'd already left at this point, right?
You mean Bob Iger?
No.
No,
It was
you
Kevin
mean
Feige.
Pearl Matter. You mean Pearl Matter.
Yes, Pearl
Yeah,
Matter.
because Zaslav is DC Discovery. He was
Sorry, yeah.
in Discovery, yeah.
I think he'd already left by Thor: The Dark World. I think, if I remember correctly. Do you remember? But I think at this point this was pure Kevin
somewhere
Feige. I think.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Yeah, I think this was pure Kevin Feige, and I felt like this was. I almost felt like the director overdid Kevin Feige's ideas, and I think that's what really made this good. Anyway, solid 7.5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you guys have I've mentioned this before. For me, Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite movies in the entire MCU, especially this one. I feel like this is the movie that really turned some of the actors into superstars. Chris
Yeah.
Pratt, remember before this, he was a big bone dude. He was in movies like Wanted already. He was in Parks and Rec. Um, he was also in this movie, man. What's this? Is it Double Wedding or something with Anne Hathaway and Goldie Hawn's daughter? What's her name again? But anyway,
Mm.
um, so now he's in shape. Everybody's surprised to see this from being a big guy to looking really good. Also Batista, I think he finally got his chance to become like a really, to be in a project that really kicked off because he was already acting, but he was like having non-speaking roles. He was in a James Bond movie. He was in a film directed by the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan. What? The Man with the Iron Fists or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was in some movies, but he was just not really blowing up. So Drax for me turned him into a mega star, a mega star. Bradley Cooper also was in his element here because already he was doing movies like Silver Linings Playbook. He was doing like serious movies, Limitless, and all of that stuff. Having him play Rocket Raccoon, a very funny, like this is like if Timon was in the MCU and knew how to fight. So for me, he stood out the most because he genuinely, for me personally, he felt like he was actually supposed to be the leader. If he really was the first one. Groot was great. You really felt sorry for him, especially
Uh,
when you think he was dead.
just to derail you for a second, it's really interesting that they took the prettiest boy and they put him in the voice acting role. Because
Yeah, that's true.
Bradley Cooper could have easily crushed it as Star Lord if you think about it. But anyway,
100%, 100%, 100%, and a few other characters, to be honest, in
But
Marvel.
can Bradley pull off Goofy? That's the question. Because
yeah.
Bradley pull off
Yeah,
Have you did you ever watch the A Team?
Watch them in the A team,
I
bro.
watched it.
And 80.
as
To me,
as face.
it's
Yeah,
the Spider-Man problem with Garfield. Garfield is a terrible Peter Parker. Where like you know what I mean? Because he's just too good looking. He's just too suave and like it's like this is a terrible nerd right now. And I don't know. For me, Bradley Cooper kind of gives me that vibe where like what nerd is this?
no, I think he would have killed it,
Why
but
must
not,
we be ugly
but
just
not.
because we nerds? Here, but
He
Easy.
would have killed it, but not to Chris Pratt's level.
No, I think he would have because like the thing is like remember with Star Lord he still is supposed to be suave anyway because he's supposed to be a fusion of Captain Kirk and Han Solo.
Yes.
So Bradley Cooper could still capture the essence of that guy who's stumbling because I mean that's what he practically did in Limitless because he's like fumbling for a lot of that movie until he gets his act together. If he did some
Yes.
Limitless stuff
Yes.
in this Guardians of the Galaxy movie, he would have killed it. But it's just interesting that they took the pretty boy and they said you're just going to be a voice for this raccoon, and I think
But
that's why
I
his
don't
performance
I
was
don't
so
think it would have been the same movie if Bradley Cooper was Star Lord. Personally, even if he had those comedic beats, I think Chris Pratt really brought something to the role that I don't think anybody could have done the same thing. I mean, he lost the audition for playing because he wanted to be Captain America. He lost that. Lee Pace also wanted to be Captain America. He lost that. Lee Pace then became Ronan the Accuser.
Waste.
Um, so you got two Captain America rejects, one playing the hero, one playing the villain. It worked. So thank God. Also, Karen Gillian,
Chris Pratt.
amazing.
Oof.
Karen Gillian was amazing in this one. That was the first time we see. I didn't even know that Nebula existed. It was the first time seeing her in this movie, and also seeing the dynamic between her and her dad and her sister. How she's bitter, how she really wants to kill her sister, just out of pure jealousy. Zoe Saldana always kills it for me. She has all initially she tried to do a superhero movie before with the Losers. DC's The Losers, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
I
But
enjoyed
that
that
movie.
terrible movie.
Yeah, that movie really did not land, unfortunately. I liked it, but it did not
Catalina,
land.
she starred in stuff before where she's carried the weight. Because Catalina
Yes.
was already out at that point, right?
What?
Catalina, am I saying it right?
Colombiana? No.
Colombiana,
No, I
Ah,
don't think it was out yet. I
but
don't think so.
it's Catalina.
But Avatar was out. Oh,
yes,
Avatar
Avatar was
was
out,
out.
right? Yes.
Yeah. But already, I mean, before this, she was doing like rom-coms. She was in
Catalina.
Guess Who. She was in Drumline and all of that. But seeing her in action as a person, not as a CGI character, or just with her holding a bazooka, no, this was really great. I really enjoyed this. So the casting was amazing. Vin Diesel for me, whether it was him or anybody else, for me personally, doesn't matter. Um, I think it was a great movie. Thanos, I knew who he was and I knew how menacing he was, but I feel like it didn't really do anything for me here. It's just for us to understand how much Drax hated him and how much Ronan the accuser really wanted to kill him. That's all that I got from it. Nova Corps also felt a bit useless to a certain degree, and I also didn't like their suits, and I didn't get why they didn't have the helmets on. But apart from that, for me, this is one of my favorite movies in this entire MCU. So I'll give it a 9.5. No, 9.2. Sorry. Can't reach Avengers levels yet.
9.2. Cool. I mean, yeah, Mr. X, you say his name, buddy.
Okay, Duchesne.
Yep. Yeah, no, Guardians was a great move all around. Um, compared to the previous film that we spoke about, it did bring like the cosmic view, obviously, you know. So it was different from the whole mercenary thing that we did with Winter Soldier. So that was nice. Rocket Raccoon and Groot were great, and the dynamic was fantastic. Although I think, on a side note, they leaned too much into it in the third movie. You know, it's like too many cute animals running around. It's like, okay, cool. Now they start being special. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't necessarily affect the first movie, I'd say. Power scaling, I haven't necessarily read the comics as such. I played the game though, and from what I understand, Drax is supposed to be near Thanos level, even if it's not as strong as him, right? But all I've seen so far from him has been, oh, I have two knives and I can stand. Ooh, but
Yeah.
I don't see how you're gonna defeat Thanos with that. So I wanted to see more of his like power scale, if I can say that.
In
Same
the
goes
com-
for
in the comic books, he rips out Thanos' heart, Mortal Kombat style. That's how he gets it.
He's actually, yeah, he was made to be a Thanos killer, so he is Thanos level. He was literally created to be a Thanos killer.
absolutely right. So from the game that I played the Guardians of the Galaxy game, right? Yeah, so there's a part in the game where you actually get to like the Nova Corps and then you get to like read through their profiles and stuff. And I saw that. I saw that this guy's supposed to be like planetary level. But
The
I'm just
Green
saying that,
Lanterns of the Marvel Universe.
yeah, absolutely. Space cups, you know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with the casting. Though. The casting, I think, was perfect. It was absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't necessarily change anyone. Although the bad guy was uncompelling, you know. But yeah, apart from that, I don't necessarily have any complaints. Do I? No. I think they did the mishmash of like the cosmic thing very well. Different colors of beings, and it didn't look too bad compared to like different, things that we had in the past. So overall, I'd give it an 8. It was especially for me because, like I'm saying, it was the actual introductions to Guardians of the Galaxy for me, you know. So it had to land for me, or it's not, because I didn't have a prior reference. You know what I mean? So if this one didn't land, then I probably wouldn't like the films like that came afterwards. But yeah, it was really cool, man. I like this one. This one is it's a very nice dynamic.
Sweet.
So 9, yeah, it's definitely a 9 for me.
Cool. It's you, Remy.
Oh yeah. Right. Guardians of the Galaxy. I did not know them until this movie. And when I first watched this movie, it actually got me into the comic books. So usually I did hear about them, but I kind of just viewed them as like C-list heroes, that kind of work. And I wish James Gunn could make Fantastic Four work, but that's another story for another time. So when I watched the movie, I kind of like the casting. I don't really have an issue with it. Like it feels like everybody fits in like a puzzle piece. Um, I will say this about the pacing though, especially the prison scene. That took a bit too long. Like I was like, yeah, that was going to drag out. The overall as a film, I just love the character dynamics, especially between Rocket and Bruce, Rocket and Peter. How they interact, always fighting for who has to have the dominant personality in the team. It's very nice to see something very realistic. Unlike with the Avengers, you get that tension at first, then eventually they just all gel together like a whole big family. Guardians is more realistic in the sense that this character dynamic gradually takes time to get there, and there'll always be clashing personalities. Even the jokes as well, they were still good. It's just that, especially with Drax, like in the comics, he's supposed to come off as a tragic figure. I mean, I find it hard being sympathetic to someone who, lost his family but still can crack jokes and act so silly. Sometimes you kind of lose it. Okay, am I supposed to laugh at this guy or am I supposed to feel sorry for him? So sometimes the comedy can be overdone, and I guess that's just James Gunn style. At least he knows how to balance it. At least he did. Um, we won't talk about Phase Four, but yeah, it was quite okay. I would say that even the pause scaling is a bit of an issue because, like everybody pointed out, Drax is supposed to be near Thanos level, but for some reason he's just a yelly, stabby, stabby guy, and so that just gets me like, okay, so like, what's the sense in calling him the destroyer type thing? And which I had a lot of people have issues with it, where they're like, how can we take the Guardians of the Galaxy seriously if they don't take themselves seriously? And I kind of like that callback even in the actual movie where there's all the dream team is like the Avengers, and then the Galaxy of the Guardians is like the bench team, where they're like, why can't it be like them? That kind of gets me cracking. But it's like, yeah, y'all just need to try to be like the Avengers. They're always serious all the time. So yeah, even the Nova
Until
Corps as
Phase Four.
well.
But anyway,
Yeah. So even the Nova Corps as well, their suits, like everybody really pointed out, they should have been far better and more comic accurate. So I don't want to go too long down the rabbit hole. So my rating for this one is 8.5.
Uh, cool.
Okay.